there, and maybe we'll bring everyone else into the conversation. Hello, everybody. Favor and Bosto to one and all. Thank you for joining us. My co-host, Miss Trina Phoenix. How are you doing, my dear?
I'm wonderful. How about you, Wayne?
Oh, any better, I'd be guilty. But then again, I was never that innocent to begin with.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think we're supposed to be.
I don't think so either. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole, this is how you break the matrix. This is how you break
It
the
is.
Oberus, is that, listen, if I am here, then that already means that I am imperfect. So
Mhm.
my imperfectness makes me perfect
Yeah,
because
because
I'm perfect in my imperfectness.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I really do. I think that's why they say, "Oh, the children they have been brought into the tree of knowledge. They now know good and evil. They're now like us." Well, yeah, because now we actually can think and we can discern and have an awareness of an I am presence. So then you have to choose. How are you going to choose to create with your thought? Because we create with our thoughts. So
We do. We do.
yeah, this is it's a whole master of the mind scenario is what's happening on this planet. It's the essence of everything that's happening right now. It's mind control.
So you didn't see on my whiteboard, but last night I had this profoundness, and we were actually cooking dinner, and I told Lynn, I said, just watch this, and I had to come in and write it down, and it hit me. If you believe in the monotheistic, patriarchal, male dominant God,
Uh-huh,
it says that God gave us free will, right?
uh-huh,
Free choice.
mhm.
So here is the moral of the story and the end of the story. Don't bitch when you give someone the free choice and they choose differently than what you want.
Yes.
You got no bitch at all. So
Nope.
anyway, that was a commentary by R. Wayne Steiger, brought to you by
But it's so true because that's what we're doing. We're here experiencing, we're testing creation. So,
yeah.
that's why you have form because in time there's a delay of your manifestation. So this is how you can learn the effects of creation, how it affects physicality because nothing's real till you feel it. So I think to actually advance as creation itself, to become a bigger part of creator, you have to graduate. You have to learn what it means to be a creator and how that affects because what we do create manifests in the world. You proved it this week with the rain.
Yeah, we actually did. And
Yeah.
just getting in that same train of thought,
Mm.
that's why I don't believe in a perfect deity. I don't believe that the singleness of an infinite being would ever be perfect, because if it was, it has nothing to look forward to. That is actually a definition of what hell would be. Hell is defined as a place without hope.
Yeah.
So if you're perfect, then your existence becomes very much one dimensional, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
At least to me. So
Yeah.
I'm the bright sunshine today. So, and yes,
Yes, you
talk
are.
about what can I say?
Yeah.
So let me see. I just want to say favor to everybody and happy birthday. Got some updates, Trina.
Mhm.
So Amy, who is one of the Soul Tribe, her husband went in yesterday for heart surgery.
Yeah.
She
I was praying.
reported to me that Leroy is doing very well, and then this is me. I expect him to be home within a day or two.
Me too.
Um, I got an email yesterday late afternoon. Someone wrote in and said, I believe it was their daughter, that her name was Abby Grace. I love that. Abby
Oh,
Grace, great name. That child's got a great destiny. She actually had burned her hand, and I don't know if it was both of them. And I just healed her over, the distance. But, so tribe, let's all just think of Abby Grace and just send her comfort.
absolutely.
Great name, great name. Let's see. Big Al is doing a deck of cards, and get over on Discord and Claim your spot. I claim the 2 of clubs.
I claimed the 7 of diamonds.
So yeah, and actually there's a reason for the 2 of clubs, but that's in another conversation.
Yeah.
Let's see. So day 5 in our experiment, and my wife and I we get up early, and as we were watching the forecast, she looked over and she said, "Well, it's working." I said, "Yeah, I know." Continue all day today, continue to think rain, heavy rain, Denver, Colorado. I always had it in a little rhyme, Trina, is
Uh-huh.
rain, heavy rain all across the Front Range, Denver, Colorado, but it's
Well,
come to pass.
you know that song, Rain, Rain, Go Away, Please Come Back
Yeah.
Another Day? I was singing it the opposite. Rain, rain,
Yeah.
come today, stay again another day. Yeah, bring it
I like
in
that.
large amounts so that the soil and the earth will feel will cease the drought. I was doing
Refreshed.
something like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, but I was doing rain, rain, come
Yeah.
today
I like
instead of
that.
go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
always think of that song by the Bellamy Brothers. Here comes that rainy day feeling again.
Yeah.
I love
And,
that song, you
and
know.
what I would do is I'd close my eyes and I would smell the rain.
Ah, yeah. Now
I
that's
would smell the
visualization.
rain and I would feel the rain
Mhm.
and I'd feel and I'd start to hear the thunder and I would just start to feel it and smell it and use my imagination. And that's how you do it because you got to integrate the feeling too. The feeling is the prayer. So that's the key is to get the imagination so entangled where you can envelop the senses and manifest all 5 senses in the imagination so you can activate all 5 plutonics into the manifestation faster.
Right there with you. And when I think about smells of nature, 3 come to mind.
Mhm.
Um, there was a summer I worked on a ranch
Mhm.
baling hay,
Yeah.
and there's nothing like the smell of fresh cut alfalfa.
Oh,
It's got
yes.
a smell that just second one is the rain. The
Mhm.
rain has that oh man, that's alchemy of the purest.
Oh,
And
it's powerful.
then the last one would definitely be, and I would say walking in an orchard of almond trees when they're in bloom.
Oh, see, for me, I have orange blossoms. I was surrounded by orchards when I was growing up, and I'd ride my dirt bike and just breathe it in. It smelled like
Mm.
heaven on earth. All those orange blossoms. Oh my gosh. Oh, it was
My
magic.
aunt and uncle had a lot of almond trees, and I can remember as a child, and I was showing you pictures of me as a kid.
Yeah.
Um, but it was always, and as I think of it today, as I continue to live this new life I'm living each day, it's like biting into a cherry cordial. That's what that smell is like.
Wow.
Indeed, man. I mean,
That would, oh, because almonds, they
oh
do, they smell
yeah.
like
Yeah, it's cherry.
cherries.
It
Yeah,
does. It
you're
smells
right.
like
Oh
cherry.
man, I bet that was magical. I'm like, I've
Oh
never been
man.
around almond trees in bloom.
Oh,
I can't imagine, but I
oh,
love almond oil. And you're right, that
yeah,
smell, it's like
yeah,
cherries and ah,
yeah.
that's see, that's what heaven smells like to me.
See?
When I go
And
to the higher realms, this is what I smell. The cherry, uh the orange blossoms, the lilies, gardenias. Those are the scents that all come into my awareness when I go into the really higher levels. Those are the things I smell.
I'm right there with you because you know it is an aroma orgasm. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
it's like it's like Tesla said. I always liked how he said it was to him, it was always a pleasurable stimulation. And I went, that's
Ah,
pretty far out, you know, when you can apply that to life itself, it's like, yeah, I can
oh,
dig that.
absolutely.
Oh man. So everyone continue, and then we're going to give it 5 days. And I can just tell you right now how we've changed it. For the last 5 years here in
Mhm.
the Front Range here in Colorado, we haven't had the monsoons.
Mhm.
And
Here too. We haven't had them either.
yeah, guess what's coming back? The monsoons, heavy
Yeah.
monsoons. In fact, right north of us, guys, we've been sometimes you have to really keep your focus because right north of us, they are getting heavy, heavy, heavy rain. And we have, watch my words, we have broken the drought in the Front Range of Denver, Colorado. This group,
Yeah.
congratulations, everybody. But
Yeah.
keep it going.
You know what? I literally I don't know what's happening with this, but like you said, new energies are coming in. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it's no
Last
joke.
night, I don't remember all of the communication. I will if I'm supposed to, but I literally heard this beautiful feminine voice, loud and clear, say, "I am the voice of Andromeda, and the
Far out.
seven sisters wish to speak with you." And I was like, "Whoa, whoa." And I was thinking about, that we're creating, we're actively starting to do the work. This is how it's done. This is like you said, this is literally how you interface with the matrix. And I was like, what are we on whatever we're doing, this is there is a celebration. I mean, because every time that we do this, it's the opposite of them looking at me over and over and again going, "When are you humans gonna realize what you are?" I've had
Exactly.
that said to me so many times. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, they're not kidding." They're not kidding. So this is why, because this is what we really are meant to do. This is what we're supposed to do. And I feel that in my heart and my soul. I'm like, this is big. We're on the right track. So then I was guided to roll my Delphi dice, and wow, the confirmation is off the hook. This because I asked for the collective soul to give me confirmation that what we're doing is, first of all, allowed, and
Mhm,
if it's in resonance with the will of good.
mhm.
And confirmation was huge. It's like we are doing
That's
something
far out.
very powerful.
So what did you do? You said you rolled the dice?
Yeah, I rolled the dice and it was like it said, I'll read it to you. It was beautiful
Far
because I was
out.
like, are we doing, well, is this right? Are we supposed to be doing this? Are we doing it right? Is everything okay? And the planet that came up was Uranus, which is change, independence, risk, affinity with Aquarius in the 11th house. Says it is time right now to make a change when you roll Uranus. Boredom and stagnation are now your worst enemies. You need increased freedom, independence, greater self confidence, and this will accompany more autonomy. Often, when you cast Uranus, you are required to jump into the unknown. You need to add excitement and stimulation to your situation. This is a favorable time for experimenting.
What the hell's going on here?
Right. And then it says Uranus is the rebellious energy. No one can tell you what to do. Be willing to stand alone in your truth or in your unique experience of perspective. Stand up for the rights of the individual. You may need to break the rules, including your own. Shock people if necessary. I'm like, you can't make this up.
I mean, that sounds like Bosto.
Totally. And then and
Yeah.
then that's not even all of it. It says you're breaking free from a limiting situation or an old psychological pattern. Interpreting your answer is tricky when you roll Uranus because of the qualities of the zodiac sign and the house that you roll. We rolled the seventh house, which again is creation. So, and then it was also in Aries. So it says you may need to act as a catalyst for change. Do not take things personally. Focus. The larger focus must be on you rather than the ego. You need conscious mind and you need to create from it your role in the present situation and for everyone else involved. Choose to be a part of it on some profound level. Do not take responsibility for other people's lives. Computers or any high-tech products could be indicated in your answer. Uranus has an affinity with any form of electronic communication. We're working in the Ethernet.
This is true.
And then what came up next was it was being ruled by Aries. And Aries, of course, again, is the first house, the initiator. So it says with Aries, it means action is necessary. Express yourself energetically and with excitement. Take risk. Be bold. Be assertive. Take the initiative. Go after what you want. Be direct. The planet and the house will show you what areas and action need to take place. And like I said, it was in the 7th house. So it was saying the quest of Aries is self-discovery, accomplished through exploring many activities and challenges. The energy of Aries is often not very conscious. You may not even know why you were doing something when you cast Aries. You simply have the desire. Usually it is best just to do it, depending on the course and the planet and the house you cast. So then we go, and it was in the 7th house. And the 7th house is partnership, relationship, self-projection, and affinity with Libra and Venus. Focus needs to be on partnership and relationship when you roll the 7th house. You usually need to join with another person. Learn the process of sharing, compromising, balancing, and negotiating that the 7th house represents. Casting the 7th house can mean the start of a new relationship or meeting new people. It can include business relationships or friendships, as well as romantic relationships. The 7th house can indicate a change in an issue, an existing relationship, according to the planet. And we got Uranus. It's time to change things up, move it around, connect with the energetic levels. This is like such confirmation. It blew my mind. I was like, it couldn't have been a more perfectly defined yes. It says, okay, you guys are working obviously with the power of Uranus. This must be the power we're working with. Because I literally was asking, what's going on? Is this correct? Is this right? And it literally was like, bam, yes. Uranus, Aries is your support, which is the initiator, the starter, the child. They're fearless, they're pure, they're innocent, but they need guidance. And then the 7th house is the partnership. It's the bringing it all together and knowing that as a group, you cannot fail. You cannot fail because you're one together, and together you will keep each other on track. So
Oh,
I was like, this is potent. This is
spot
absolutely
on.
powerful confirmation that, of course, it worked.
Yeah.
And then to ask, to get guidance on, is this correct? And to get that confirmation and then saying, don't stop, go harder,
Yeah.
And then to hear, I am the voice of Andromeda and the 7 sisters would wish to speak with you. I was like, oh boy, we've just entered into something new here. New.
And isn't Aphrodite Andromeda?
I think so. And I
I
have
think they are
apparently
one
have
and the
some
same.
affinity with
Yeah.
that being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a lovely, lovely energy. It gets back, I guess, to that whole discussion as, are the gods of the past dead? And because if you look at it, there seems to have been some battle that took place that we weren't aware of, because you have the pantheon of, the Sumerians, then the Medo-Persians, Mesopotamia, Egypt, and from Egypt it spun off Judaism. And it
Mhm.
seems like at that junction, that bifurcation that took place,
Mhm.
that either one of two things, the existing gods stepped down
You know
till
what I just saw, Wayne? What if this is like an allegory for these 26,000 year cycles? And when we moved from Aries into Taurus, which was Moses the ram, into because the bull was before
right.
the bull worship. That's why we have by bull. It's
Yeah.
the bull, and then we went into the ram, and now we're going, and then we went into Pisces, and now we're going into Aquarius. I wonder if that's what that is. The changing of those gods
Yeah.
is the changing of that age.
I think it's very possible, which then, so let's follow this thought through. So, like, I've been led to really begin to restudy
Mhm,
these ancient deities. Now,
mhm.
I know Baal is still here. In fact, Baal is the god of this country, of the United States.
Yaldo Bay off.
It
Ball. I'm
and
pretty
it's
sure.
not Yahweh, it's not
Yeah.
Jesus, it's none of
No.
that. The
It's
United
a
States
feathered
is ruled.
serpent.
It
Feathered
is.
serpent, Quetzalcoatl. It's all of those things. It's got many names.
Tune in tomorrow because I'm going to do a study on exactly that, the plumed serpent.
Yeah.
And, so when we look at this, so I've been really led to start studying SETI, Set.
Mhm.
Um, interesting pantheon of these characters. Now, the thing I didn't know is that Seti is actually from a planet in the Orion system.
Mhm.
Well, then that kind of then brings into the whole question. So when we talk about those who are in contact with the Palladians, which seem
Mhm.
to have an affinity
Mhm.
for humankind,
Mhm.
uh, it kind of makes me wonder, are we about to see the reintroduction of these, what do you want to call them? Beings,
Yeah,
super beings?
they're basically they're our ancestors, and I was literally told one time that Jesus was a Pleiadian.
I can see that.
Well,
I can
he is,
accept that.
and he was that's he brought in new codes for the genetics to help us wake up. It's like part of the battle of the brothers. One wants us numb and dumb, enslaved. The other one wants you free and evolving spiritually. It's the duality of this creation point. And yeah, there's always the battle between the two brothers. And that's the
Yeah.
system of duality that we're in. And I do believe that they all did come from Orion and the Pleiades. The
I think
Pleiades,
that's who we saw in the Vatican, that bishop, that other creature. I don't know what it was. I think it was most likely a Palladian, probably.
yeah, well, I don't, the Pleiadians, when I see them and when I travel, many are in human form. They're very beautiful beings.
I can
But
dig
there's
that. I
multiple
think I
species.
dated one,
Yeah, their Pleiadians are beautiful.
which
Yeah.
means I had Palladian sex at one time. Wow, that's very far. um,
Mhm.
I digress, folks.
Yes, I said, I think we come from so many things that we've just never
It
been
it
allowed
it
to know. And, the stars, we all have some kind of a
I
knowing. We
say we
come
come from many different stars.
I think we do. Remember, Wayne, I told you we were born in
Mhm.
a zoo dial. We've been mixed with aliens and animals to create this human thing that we're sitting in right now. And what's, kind of frustrating me is I don't think people are seeing the correlation between genetically modified food and the patents that Soros owns on now all the seeds. And now they're collecting your genetics and they're trying to genetically modify people through immunizations, which means they can claim the rights to ownership over your physical body.
You know what I also believe that we can do?
Hmm.
As we get better at collectively manifesting, listen, I think we can rearrange our DNA.
Yeah, but like I said, you want to be careful because when you mess with the books of life without permission, this is what created the fall of Sophia.
Well, let me explain that because it's already taken place.
It is, and there will be
Well, no, it
consequences
isn't
for
is.
those.
It already has. There's been 30 years of GMO modification of the human genome.
Wayne, I'm pretty sure I'm back here because I had to pay penance for what I did with the genetics in Atlantis. So there will be consequences for this. I'm pretty sure I'm serving time based on that theory.
Well,
Swear to God.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm very open because what I have seen in 65 years has taught me that nothing of what I have seen has proven to be in fact true.
It's all a lie.
Yeah, and
And
uh,
like I said, I think the only way you can find the truth is when you go into your Akash. When
yeah,
you go and you see things for yourself. And when you start to see things for yourself, then you can unpop that popcorn. You just can't.
I mean, we can't put the bottle back on the genie. I mean,
No.
yeah.
And I wouldn't want to. I've battled that my whole life, because my genie bottle got popped right straight out of the gate. So,
And
yeah.
it gets into this whole thing. You see, if a person really understands being of service to others, and that is in fact the lesson, then to me, I don't see where karmatic effects of past events plays a role. I think in this in this matrix, in this play, you've outlived your role. It's time to move on to a higher role, because if you've learned to put others before self, that's the first step to becoming a godhead.
Yeah, and seeing that's what it was kind of in my knowing is
Hmm.
whatever happened in Atlantis when we were doing the genetic modifications that caused like Noah's flood, basically, because you have to clean up the pollution of the problems because the deformities, and then there's just lots of problems that stem from this that we were unaware of. So when Atlantis went down and I died, I chose to come back to go through a similar timeline and choose the opposite expression and to experience both ends of the polarity. So I apparently then I can go completely knowing all of it. So it's about I chose to come and experience two different ways so I could fully integrate the knowledge. And this is all based on genetics, books of life. So apparently this must be some pretty high level teachings because that means you're creating. And so I've been brought into genetics through all of it. So it seems like these cycles for me, everything was about the blood, it was about the genes, it was about these codes and these templates of life. And I had all this wisdom and I had a just kind of an understanding of it since I was a child. So, like I said, there's a very powerful thing with our genetic codes, and they are very, very valuable. And I think right now the people on this planet are trying to get legal rights to them once again.
Hmm.
It's just what I'm feeling in my heart.
Well, and every person has their journey. For myself, I
Yeah.
really don't know. I mean, I simply sit here going, do I believe in any one particular thing? Not at this point. I believe in myself,
That's
and
what and that's the hardest thing to do, Wayne.
yeah.
So
Well, I
like
I don't
seriously,
doubt myself,
yeah,
and I think that's what most people
powerful.
do. People worry,
Right.
they worry all the time.
And we're taught that we're not capable. We're taught that we need something else to help save us and to answer our prayers. And we're not taught to stand in our power. We're taught the opposite.
Yes, we are. By the way, I found this. This is a great book. Everyone should have it again. Dale
Ooh,
Carnegie, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living.
oh, I
This
like that.
this goes back, folks, and it really I took this. I took the Dale Carnegie sales course along with the Xerox course, and but the first thing that you have to be taught in sales is that you never doubt yourself, or you'll never close a sale.
Yeah.
So anyway, folks, get it. It's good. This is a great book. We're going to go through it in the future. But if all of those who've never had it, it teaches you so much about. And then there's one other, folks. This is the book. You Are a Bad Ass.
I love it.
How to stop doubting your greatness and start living the awesome life. And you can see the colors go because we are all badasses. What we just did here collectively, and thank you, Trina, for pointing it out. We had 140 thereabouts individual, and this goes all the way until noon tomorrow, and then we'll wait 5 days, and you can just look at the weather yourself. It's changed here.
Yep.
That we showed the beginnings of how much of a badasses we really are. Folks, we're going to bring prosperity into people's lives. I'll tell you, we can get so good at this, we can alter We can alter the future.
You just did.
Well, I guess we did, didn't we? Aren't
Yeah,
we badasses?
yeah, Wayne, it's like you did. You really
Yeah,
did. All right. Yeah, we did that. We
we
did
did
that.
it. Yeah.
For sure we did that. That's why I was like, oh boy, we're getting into some serious waters. Is this all right? You know, because I don't know why, but I understand cooperation. I understand its
Ooh,
importance. That's
how
where I went wrong before. I thought I knew when I didn't know, and I got tricked. And it's the same thing that happened to Lilith. I'm telling you, this is a deep construct we're trying to break free of, and it must be hitting a lot of the divine feminines because we need to not be deceived ever again. No more trickery. We will never be tricked out of our own power. And that's what we always do. We give our power away. They promise us something better, and we give away what we are for a promise of something greater in immortality, downloading Google to your brain, all this stuff. Those are the carrots they dangle. And man, be careful if you eat it. Woo, doggy.
So Rumi says, and still after all this time, the sun has never said to the earth, you owe me. Look what
Right.
happens with love like that. It lights up the sky. And folks,
So
this
true.
is one of these books when you begin to realize just how badass you truly are. There was a very dark presence that manifested, and literally I looked up and I said, if that's the best you got, I ain't got time. Went back to sleep. Folks, this is a good one. We're going to go through this in the future. It's one I think should be read probably in the whole group. It's like this. You can start out with nothing, and out of nothing and out of no way, a way will be made.
Bingo. Bam. That's the
Bam, baby.
power put right there, man. That is how it is done. You know, that's the thing. God remembers to keep it simple. You just tell me what you want done and I will do it. Don't worry about how it will come.
Yeah,
You need to give that part to me. Give it away. Give it away. Give it to creation. Creation knows how to bring it in and it can think of things way better than you can. So that's what you do. You say, okay, you receive inspiration and you know you want to manifest that on the planet. And what you do is you see it and you create it and you see it like you have it. And through that, the universe constructs it for you through cooperation. So
it
this is the
does.
letting go part. And then the activation part. It's a balance like breath. You got to give it away. You got to breathe it in, give it away, and breathe it in again, and then it manifests. It's a process of cooperation. So when we learn this power of cooperation, man, we're going to go far.
Oh, we are. And I'm just reading some of the comments. So they're zipping by. Um, Everyone, we're right in it, spoke. We're in this. And the thing about it is that we have to be on guard, the ones that are participating. And I hope next time we can expand it out. But
Yeah.
what everyone that was been this experiment, I'll get back to you because there was just too many to email. But
Yeah.
you consider yourself, we've graduated now from elementary school. We're going to go into junior high. And our next experiment, I'm thinking on it, Trina, it's got to be something that it can be very visual. Um, I'm thinking that if this storm that is forming right now in the Atlantic continues, that I think our next target needs to be literally dissipating a hurricane.
We can do it. No
I
problem.
believe we can.
I know we can.
So
We did it
that
when it was getting ready to hit Jeff Daugherty. Remember that huge
I
Florida
remember that.
hurricane? And Rex was involved and he was using Marshmallow Man. That's the god he was using was Marshmallow
Yeah,
Man.
yeah, I
It
want to make it a
was
little bit
hilarious.
more serious than that.
Right, but it worked.
I got no, I'm not disagreeing. I was part of that, but the problem is no one's going to take us serious
No.
in academia or in other places. And this is
You
my
know,
point.
you know
We've
what,
got to
Wayne?
be
It's so
target.
funny. I don't think they matter anymore.
Who?
That's where I've gotten to.
What?
They don't matter.
Who?
If we start to drive this, academia, won't matter.
Oh, no, no, no.
We will
No, no,
matter.
no. I get that. There's a reason though behind this, Trina, that I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Method behind the madness, I'm
Well,
sure, Wayne, you're
yeah.
a
I mean,
planner.
there have been incidences like that sporadic and I know on the other channels, but the problem was there was never consistent follow-up.
No.
And, you do a one trick pony. And, I'm not saying it was a trick, it's a term, it's a metaphor.
Yeah.
Because you don't come back and follow up with anything.
Right.
My point is that we're taking this in incremental steps. And by the time we get to step 5, this core group, and I don't expect everyone to stay. I hope they do, but there will be a core group and then
Mhm.
we can go private.
But I was gonna say, remember, Wayne, I was always
Yeah.
told by the Lord, party tricks will be involved.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a negative or derogatory term. It's just an expression. It's a metaphor. And, but, you see, I believe where I see this going is that we will begin to affect the core group. Once we close this to the public,
Yeah.
we will begin to focus in on the core group's personal lives. That
Yes.
hasn't been done.
No, and we can do global stuff too and put peace
Oh,
into the
we can start
energy.
doing stuff where we,
Yeah.
yeah,
The
yeah,
thing is, like you said, though, it's like a lot of people, they lose their momentum and they kind of fizzle out and they
they
stop the
do. Yeah.
focus. And that's the downfall. And that's where, where it either has the potency or it doesn't. It's about the people doing it.
Hmm.
But this group is really crazy powerful.
Yeah. And there wasn't anything derogatory meant to any of those other individuals. I mean, goodness
No.
gracious, I can already sense on some of that. It was just simply a statement. The vision here is to really take this into meaningful. When
Yeah.
a person is struggling to pay their rent, when person is struggling physically in their bodies,
Mhm.
that's what counts. You have to build confidence in order to get to that point. But once you get that core group that has that confidence, you close it off to the other energies. And then we start focusing it on individuals. And when individual lives are manifestly changed by the
Mhm.
collective focus,
Mhm.
that's when things really begin to get interesting.
Yeah, and
We,
that's you're really gonna make sure you gotta have alignment with the oversoul because
we
you don't wanna violate free will because the soul kind of seems to know more than what we do.
yeah.
So gotta be careful with that, but that's a powerful thing. And I've seen that, Wayne, like I've seen people heal stuff that they said couldn't heal, and you've seen it too. It really does work.
It works every time.
It
I
work.
told you what happens when that young woman slit both of her wrists, and literally, when you can lay hands on a person and watch the skin literally
That's profound.
start mending itself, that is,
I mean, that's mind blowing. I
yeah.
haven't got to see tissue move like that before. I don't want to see anybody cut their wrists, but I
Well, you
would love
don't want
to
it
see
because it's a
that.
bloody mess. It's a
Right. I'm like,
bloody
I don't want to
mess.
see the bad, right, but I'd love to see like somebody fall down, get an owie, and you put their skin. I would like to witness. I haven't seen that one yet. I'm like,
And
wow.
I'm the guy that passes out or gets sick when I see blood. I just hate the sight of blood. And anyway,
Wow.
yeah, I don't like it.
That's profound. My daughter does that too, both of them.
Oh, yeah, maybe somewhere back, way back. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's a
No,
bloody
it's a
mess.
profound healer, Wayne. I mean, literally, that is wow. That is like heavy energy. That's powerful. That's
When,
beautiful.
when Lynn and I first started dating, she, I don't know if she had the flu or whatever, but she had a really high temperature and I had never laid hands on her. And I said, well, I can take that away. And Lynn believed when she was a Christian, she believed in the whack-a-mole God. If you
Yeah.
stick your head, God's going to whack you down. And so she said, yeah, I think she was just so miserable. She said, okay. And I laid hands on her and, the fever literally, it goes right into my hands and she
Yeah.
felt it.
Yeah.
And she literally in like that, her fever was gone.
Did you pull it out of her head or her
Oh,
feet?
I do it all the time. You
Yeah.
know,
Did you pull it out of her head or out of her
I
feet?
can literally pull it out of, it's actually, you're pulling it out of the aura.
Yeah.
It's literally what you're doing. I mean, the
Mhm.
physicality of touching is just a connection, but it's really the aura that you're dealing with here.
Yes, you
Yeah.
are right. That is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true.
So
Yeah, Wayne, that's a powerful healer though. Like I said, I've seen a lot of healings and I've never seen somebody be able to manipulate the skin like that. I've seen people put bones back in.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah. But yeah, I've never got to witness like flesh repair like that. That's powerful.
Yeah. Freaked out her boyfriend too.
I bet. I'm like, that is awesome.
You know,
But that's what they say. We're going to learn to actually heal like this. It was like, that's
yeah.
the Christ stuff is like physician heal thyself.
If
Yeah.
we're light, if we're that essence, then we have the ability to mend on a cellular level.
Right. And this is
Yeah.
what it's like they're trying to stop us from this belief and this awareness that we do have these capabilities and that this is desperately what they do not want you to
They don't
understand.
want that. It's like,
Oh my
oh
gosh, no.
my God, they're
It would
actually
stop.
believing they can heal each other. Oh crap, what are we going to now do, Harold? I mean, look at these people. They're already changing the freaking weather, and now they're going to start healing. You know, wait
Yeah.
till we start moving money, folks. And it can be done psychically, folks. It really can, and it's not the way that you think. I don't like anyone messing with my anus or my aura. Oh, excuse me. Well, Posey, then don't let anyone near it. That's the thing I say.
Hmm.
But
Absolutely.
I thought it said something else, but
Right. Yeah, I heard that. I was like,
I don't want anyone messing with my anus either.
me neither.
It's
Yeah,
like,
a little bad.
no way, man. I have to go in. I'm going in for a physical. So I say that in jest, but yet, I mean. So
Yeah.
Trina, I'm going to share this with you. I shared it with you earlier, and I thought we'd share it with
Absolutely.
everybody. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's amazing what happens when you go back and look at pictures. I took this, Trina, in August 1992. In fact, I wasn't even supposed to be traveling, but I was. I had actually was still very sick with meningitis and Lyme disease. But this is the house, my grandparents' house. This is in Benicia. I grew up in this house along with another one in Santa Clara. So you look at this picture and you think everything looks normal. I've had this picture for almost 30 years. And Trina, I don't know what made me look at it today, but you and I were talking. You immediately saw something that wasn't right with this picture.
Yeah, instantly. I was instantly drawn to it. I was like, what's that triangle thing behind the house?
And this gets interesting, folks. I took this picture, know exactly when I took it. And Trina, when I saw it today, it freaked me out. So what I did here, I began to crop it and began to add more saturation, less gamma. And I can tell you this, it gets weird. That is a tree behind the house. That's in the backyard. That big tree is.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what this is.
The
And
triangle, massive black
there it
energy.
is. There it is, folks. And you can see it's actually emanating. Well, do you see the face
I
already?
can, yeah.
Yeah. And
Like I said,
here,
I can see more than one actually going on, and there's a lot of energy in that mass, whatever it is. I don't know what it is.
whatever it is. And folks,
Powerful though.
it's there's the tree that's supposed to be in the back. That's the back. I mean, yeah. But so here is a little more filtering, bringing in the saturation, enhancing the chroma, and there you go, Trina. I don't know what that is,
I
but
don't either, Wayne. That is a very powerful energy manifesting on this earth, but it is not of this earth, and it's manifesting whatever it is.
manifesting in my grandparents' house. I mean, in
Yeah.
that back part where that's where I was sleeping.
That's what I
Um,
mean. And it looks like it's looking down into the house.
yeah,
It's
there's an even more Look at the energy, this whatever the hell this thing is. I don't know what it is.
And that blue orb at the top of the head
Yeah.
is just
Yeah.
wild.
I mean, folks, I'd love to hear your commentary. So I said, all right, well, let's look at the base of this thing. So
Tony
this is,
Cherie said, I could think it could be a cloak of protection. It literally looks to me like it's kneeling over you. And yeah, it might be protection. I could see that.
I hadn't thought about that. I was
I
very,
literally
very,
could.
I almost, well, in fact, technically I did die, but so look at the base of this thing. Now that is my grandmother's rose plant, which should be, it shouldn't, yeah. Anyway, so Trina, you and I were looking at this and I can already see one face right here. I
Uh-huh.
know that there is another face here.
Uh-huh.
These orbs are very defined,
Yep.
and there it is.
Yeah. And I literally, the more I'm looking at it, and Tony said, she's like, I wonder if that's a hedge of protection. I'm like, you know what? That might actually be what that is.
How fascinating.
And that would be the dark, dense, energetic matter. That's the protection of the mother. That's divine feminine, dark matter, dark energies. Those can be mother energies, and those are protective. It's a womb. Yeah,
Well, it's been
that
speaking
could
to
be.
me. It still follows me.
Yeah, then that could be a protector.
Yeah.
It's like I said, we can't judge a book by its color. We got to feel the energy of it. It's like, what are you?
So my
What do you
friend,
look like? What are
who
you?
is a photographer and has been for National Geographic, been on expeditions with the Smithsonian. I sent this to him and he pointed out to me, he said, you really captured. He said, look at the horizontal line on the roof.
Yeah,
He said, he says, you don't get that. Typically, you'll have what they call a moire effect, where where the posterization and the pixelization bleeds out. Here, it's distinct. He said it's so freaking clean,
it
and he
is. I
said,
noticed that too. The black
yeah,
line, the clear
yes, yeah.
distinction, and it was so profoundly strong. I was like, whoa.
Look at this thing. I mean, look at
Yeah,
the
Wayne,
energy
that was one
emanating.
heck of a capture. I was like really freaked out when I saw that. I was like, what is that triangle thing? I was like, whoa.
I don't. There it is.
Yeah, it's
And it,
profound. Whatever that it is profound. I mean, I wonder if it was protection.
it's at least 20 feet tall.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
I do know. The base of it is at least, you can look at the distinction of the side of the house. So that's 10 foot. You can do a relationship. So it's coming, something's coming out with a mass out of the earth. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's out of the earth, Trina. I don't know what it is, but I know this. It's literally emanating energy off of it.
Yeah.
Is this
Yeah.
wild?
And it's yeah, it's a very like I said, that's one heck of a capture. I mean, you really wow. You caught
28 years it's set.
and you didn't even notice it. I know. I've had pictures like that too,
That's
where now we
weird.
see ghosts and stuff in them that we never saw before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting that too.
Something's weird going on. So anyway, I wanted to share that with everybody. It's just yeah.
Wonder if that's part of the bleed through of the dimensions that we're going to start to things are going to show up that maybe weren't there before. And I don't know.
Yeah. I had a strange experience. I'll show everyone. I showed you and you thought. So when I was a child and we lived in a house in Santa Clara, I'll show everybody that house here in a second. So you can see, here we are. This is a good one. Gives everyone an idea of, because I want to say something that happened one night. It's always stayed with me. It has never stopped. And as I'm finding the picture, folks. Y'all talk amongst yourself, smoke them
Yeah,
if you got them. Have a, here we go.
I'm going to do a little bragging. Marsha Price made this, And this is what she's like calling the Milky Way messenger pendant. And it is so beautiful. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's
Yes.
two-sided and it's really neat because it glows in the dark.
Does it really?
It does. So like when I go to sleep and you could just like glowing out of my heart. It's so pretty.
I
I
love
love it.
that. I love that. And by the way, she'll have her website up here pretty quick, folks.
Yeah, I think she
And
did maybe.
is it
Yeah.
OregonBeauty.com?
Oracle Beauty, Oregon. Yeah, Oregon
Oregon.
Beauty.
Oregon. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And oh God, guys, she does amazing work.
Woman is
She's
gifted.
wrapping my right now, Wayne. She's putting my duality crystal that Karen carved for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a crystal with a man and a woman carved in it. And it's called the duality crystal. And Marsha's putting it in the Oregon pyramid and we're wrapping it in the Tesla coil to amplify its power. So this is for me, this is me manifesting heaven on earth, the divine marriage.
Excellent. Love it.
Yeah.
So folks, that's me, 4 years old.
Look at Wayne.
That is my bedroom. And when I was a kid, I'm still a kid.
Wayne, it looks like there's a spirit standing right next to you in that picture. I swear
Really?
to God.
Let me pull that back up.
And it's huge. Look, it looks like there's a ghost standing right, like facing this to the, I can see it where the fireplace brick is.
Yeah.
It looks like there's like a being in the fireplace brick standing right next to you very faintly, but I literally see a large male figure standing right beside you in that photo.
Well, now the next story then will have some relevance. I was sick as a kid, and I was awakened, and my brother heard this. There were beings outside my bedroom window, right where I was standing. You can see there was hedges in there. So as a child, I knew that there could be no one, but to this very day, in that same room, did I hear these beings outside the house. We could right next to the window, woke up my brother. But that is also the same room that when my aunt was killed by a hit and run driver, that she appeared to me at the moment that she died. She was right there. So that whole place had a whole lot of stuff going on.
You know, Wayne, that's like the house I grew up in. It had some
Yeah.
crazy energies on the land itself. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
relate to that
Weird
powerfully.
stuff.
Yeah.
Weird stuff, you know,
And like I said,
spirits.
my poor friend, boy, her family, they had it way worse than we did.
And it's amazing to me is that this blending between the living and the dead, as they used to say,
Mhm.
it's really becoming much more immersed. It's like, well,
Yes.
what is and what isn't?
Yeah, I think, yeah,
You
it's
know,
kind of cool, but it's kind of like crazy at the same time because I know a lot of people are going to freak out, because I went through it. Like, yeah, when you start seeing spirits and stuff, it kind of freaks people out, but they'll get used to
they're
it.
here. They're here. I mean,
I'm like, they'll get used to it.
I'm dog sitting, and the thing about Maggie, she had to get used to um,
All the spirits.
when they when they dropped her off on Saturday, the poor dog was freaking out, and
Yeah.
because her head was doing this number, she could see the activity exactly.
Yeah.
And then she would kind of growl, and then she would kind of like she wanted to play, and it was and dancers just kind of going, get used to it, kid.
Absolutely. What? This is normal, dude.
It's
Yeah.
happened. It
Yeah.
happens, like I always say. But I think that we're seeing more and more of it. And not to bring the Bible in this, but I studied that book for, nearly 5 decades. It
Mhm.
always fascinated me. I think it was Matthew, the 21st chapter, where it talks about that the graves burst open and many saw their departed loved ones carrying their bodies.
Wayne, what the heck just happened in somewhere in one of the Muslim countries? They literally just had this happen. There's thousands of graves. They've all been like ripped up and they're gone. The bodies are gone. And this happened overnight. And it was like they were plunged.
If anyone's got that oracle, that article, please send it. Boy,
I'll
there
see if
was
I
a,
can find it. I
I
saw the
loved it.
report.
I
I saw
loved
the
it.
report a week ago and I was like, oh my God, is this what they were talking about in the Bible? Because they were just gone. The graves, they were just gone. The concrete was punched holes in it and the bodies were all gone. And there was a bunch of them, a bunch,
Wow. Wow. Let's
bunch.
see. I'm just reading some of the comments on here.
Yeah,
Um,
mysterious graves. Oh, it might have been, I know it was a Muslim country because the people in the pictures, they had burqas on. I can't remember if it was in India. Oh, I don't, it might have been in India, but it was a mysterious, multiple graves, damaged and missing bodies. And it was like a lot. Like, I thought they said about 1,000. This was a
Listen, I
big
mean, we're
cemetery.
living in a
It was,
time and an age. By the way, folks, the card today was a square.
ooh,
Square.
yeah.
I think that we're going to see more and more of it. I had a vision and I wrote it yesterday, and someone was very astute to seeing it. And I'm calling it the Trump card.
Uh,
Just be ready. You know, I don't know why. And I don't know if it's even associated with Trump, but I just, this came into that. Some people, I think that this is just me, that I think that he might use disclosure as a bargaining chip, where for whatever the chip would need to be called on. I think he's threatening full disclosure.
I think he's got a giant that's traveling with him on Air Force One, so he's got the ammunition with him at all times.
Something's up. I mean,
I'm pretty sure you're right.
I
Also,
think that
too, they said there's 19 interstellar objects coming into our atmosphere.
I know the Space Force has been activated.
What
I
is
mean,
what?
well, you
That's
know
an
that.
interesting term, interstellar, which means they're coming from outside. And they said 19. 19 is a powerful number with karma. So this is interesting because I pay attention to those numbers. 19 is one of those numbers you got to pay attention to.
I think we're about to see what is normal. What
Yeah.
we've lived the last 2,000 years, last 3,000 years has not been normal. I think that the Earth, and I think the Vata Gita with the Hindu culture is probably very accurate.
Mhm.
I think, and I am on the record for this because I look in my archive. I have over 1,400 videos now in my archives.
Wayne, it's amazing.
It's
There's so
amazing.
much information and knowledge on there. I love it.
Well, it's this group. But I said, ladies and gentlemen, 3 years ago in a vision, I wrote, they're coming back.
Hmm.
I knew that they were coming back. I
Hmm.
don't I think that they merely left, and in their perspective, they didn't leave that long ago. See, their time is different than our time.
Hmm.
When they left to whatever they were doing,
Hmm.
coming back to them, maybe only they were gone less than a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Time is so different. And it can be thousands of years. It doesn't matter because they
Yeah.
just
See?
jump from one reality to
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
very different when you get out of third dimensional time
Yeah.
linear construct
It's weird,
and
isn't it? The whole
physics.
time thing.
Yeah. And once you get into the loops, to get off the
It's like,
line and get into the loop. I think that's why the phi symbol is like that.
yeah.
It's
Ben
time.
Davidson was talking about time today, even over on his channel. And it's interesting the synchronicity of how this group is so well tied in to all the other. Whose birthday is it today? Someone said happy birthday in Boston. Oh, Gilbert. Happy birthday,
Yeah.
Gilbert. Good to say,
Yeah.
another year on the rock.
Yes.
Welcome. Well, we're glad you're here.
Happy Be Earth Day.
Yes, 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 exactly. Trina,
Welcome to Earth.
it's like, yeah, but when you look back in the past, it also affirms to me that all of us have lived multiple lifetimes in this lifetime.
Yeah.
Often, I talk about this, but and everyone should do this, look at a picture of yourself if you have them at 2 or 3 years old,
Mhm.
and then try to perceive what you were thinking then as to what you're seeing now. We can't be the same lives, can we? I know we're going over, but
My consciousness from when I was 3 years old is the same as it is now. I mean, of course, I've learned more, but I'm still the same
see,
self. Yeah,
yeah,
it's never changed.
that's the thing is, I remember I can look in the eyes. I have a picture of me at 2 months old,
Hmm.
and my eyes are like the still there was eyes of wonder.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
7P said, I was so happy in my earliest pictures.
Me
Tells
too.
you. Yeah.
Me
Most
too.
of us were. Yeah.
Because when you're a child, the world doesn't bother you.
Yeah.
It's an adventure.
I think we can
Children
get
wake
back to
up
that.
every day excited about
See?
what's going to happen if they're happy, healthy, thriving in a safe environment. That's the
Yeah.
normal way.
You know what
Yeah.
I heard myself telling me?
Hmm.
I heard myself when I was 2 months old to what today saying, I told you it was going to be a magical ride.
Wow.
And because I think that's what I came in expecting.
Well, because you knew you could create it.
I think so.
And that's what
Mhm.
brought you into the faith healing, because that's magic.
Mhm.
Wow, Wayne, that's
Oh, hey,
profound.
hi, Brenda, Milky Way's
Hi,
mom.
Milky's mom.
Hello, Milky. Thank you. Sanji is on his way. Uh,
Oh, get ready, Wayne.
Here we come, walking down the street. Anyway, yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Milky
Oh
Way's
my
mom.
God.
Oh, we just send you much love, Brenda. We
You're
love
so
you.
funny, Wade. You were
Yeah.
saying a new energy's coming. Oh boy, you were
Oh
right.
boy,
You were right.
we're gonna give this dog back to its owner, and then she's gonna say, What did you do to the dog?"
Right? Or the dog's gonna want to come back because it's so bored at home.
Exactly. It's like, I want to come back where the real action is right here. Well, Brenda,
Right.
I'll let you know as soon as that arrives. Thank you. Thank you. And I
Oh,
know Mark
that's
and
so
Kathy has sent me
wonderful.
something as well. I do these beads all the time now. I do. What is up with that? I mean, this is like,
Love it.
well, it's amazing. I've actually worn a spot on my thumb where,
Yeah.
yeah, what is that? What's that about, Trina? I
Too
mean,
much.
see what?
Just too much.
Is it? Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like a real focus thing now. I mean, wow, it's weird. All right.
Yeah. Just not stopping. Everything, like I said, Wayne, something's happening right now. It's powerful. And I don't know if it's because we did this experiment, but something's happening.
I agree, dear. I do.
Yeah. Something.
Yeah.
And then that new communication, I was like, wow, okay.
How's the new channel, by the way? The new Milky Way Soul Tribe channel.
Great. Robert's working
Good.
out the kinks really
Good.
fast. He had slightly slanted sleuth on last night, and that went really well. And
Good.
it's just like, it's keeping that's Brian's forum. That's his.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like we're just gonna keep it rolling and keep it going and bringing the tribe
Good.
together and learning and getting to know each other more. And it's just, we're not gonna stop.
Good deal. Good deal. And I
Yeah.
tell you, I really do. Hello, Mary Wins. I love that. That's a great name. Mary Wins.
I
Wayne
love
wins. Trina wins. I like that. We win. Um,
it. It's so funny. It's like Brian's the star that's guiding us now. And I literally, he's building something. He's building something very powerful regarding to transition from one plane to the next. I don't know what it is, but it is magnificent. Magnificent.
Well,
What I'm
we
seeing.
send the energy there, and I'm like you. I know that he's on a mission, and
Yeah.
you know, it's like I
Yeah.
have to say, Brian, you rascal, you got a head start on us, but that's
Yeah.
okay. We're
And I
fast
think, I
learners.
think, yeah, I think he knew he was supposed to.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
all right. Well,
Yeah.
someone had to go over and do that. I mean,
Well, and Jerry
you know.
went first, and I'm pretty sure Jerry was immediately got hold of Brian because Jerry was conveying some powerful messages about how he could see everything from there and that he could actually create more from that position than he could on Earth. I was like,
Wow.
wow, that's profound information.
I can dig that.
Yeah.
I mean,
So, and then,
seriously,
yeah, and
you
then you
know?
heard Brian got assigned, and I heard the same thing, that he's been moved to a different position of uh, um, responsibility.
Yeah.
It's authority goes with it, but it's more of responsibility because he understands creation. So he's building something very beautiful for the souls. Right. I don't know. I haven't got all of it yet. But it's very pretty.
Well, Brian, I trust you're building that beach.
Yeah, it's better than a beach.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
it's
it's like,
kind of like,
oh,
you know, it's when you look at realities can be as easily as a mirror to step through. And if you put two mirrors together, you have what we call the mirror of infinity.
yes.
And when you
Infinite
put your,
fractals.
yeah, you put yourself in there, and you can literally walk in and out of different planes of reality.
Yes.
I really do believe that.
I do too. I literally
Mm,
see that's how it works. So
mm,
your original source is literally focusing on a mirror.
yeah, yeah. It just never ends.
No,
It
and it's
can't
in,
end.
yeah, the fractals. Yeah, that's literally like that is a great analogy for what I see. It's your focused point of thought goes into this mirror and it fractals out infinitely. So it's you fractal it out infinitely in this all these different realities, and that's why there might be only 144,000, because each one of those 144,000 have been fractaled out on the 12th to the exponential 12th, and that's the other fractals running from the yeah, that's what I see. It's
Yeah.
so hard to put into words, but it's a huge
Then you've
process.
got and I don't know if this would be the nihilist or what, that simply say that when these bodies die, what people are experiencing is merely the bursting of the synaptic pathways on the tip of each nerve, and that's it.
All I could say is if that's their ticket for I don't have to be
I was
responsible
going to
for
say, well,
anything I've
man,
done, I think they're going to be really
fine,
disappointed.
have it your way, but you know,
Like I said, we're learning so many beautiful things, and we have to experience both. We come here to experience trauma. We come here
I think so.
to experience being a little bit of the, I think you're going to experience a little bit of everything if you've truly had a really rich incarnation. You're going to go through many incarnations in one incarnation, like you said, Wayne. It's what it feels like.
Yeah, I
So
think so.
we're all like, so like I said, when we start to understand not to judge any of it, because it's really not going to serve you to do so, everything, but like I said, the accountability comes from your own being,
Hmm.
your own
It
being.
does.
So it's going to be like, what do you feel about that? Like for reals. And you can't avoid truth when you're in the higher dimensions and you're not in polarity anymore. You can see things from a bigger place. So with that, the truth is just strong in its foundation. It can't be shooken because it is. It just is. So
Someone was
yeah,
saying,
we got to learn to let go of our trauma of our past and heal it and forgive it, and try to find the wisdom in the value in it, because if you were experiencing that, so that way you could know what would be the ramifications if it was created again. You're learning, this is wisdom. So when you go through something horrible or you do something horrible, but then you learn from it, you're like, wow, now I see what that does and I won't recreate that. That's mastery, and that's permanent. You get to keep that with you when you leave. So everything you learn, as hard as it is, when you take it home, it's going to be one of your treasures because it's going to have deep wisdom and powerful charge to it.
well, I think, and someone's talking, let me tell you about childhoods. If you had a rough childhood, actually,
Mhm.
you're one of the fortunate ones. I did, had a very traumatic childhood, but actually, we are so farther ahead than many of those who, what you would call, had the stability of mother, father, and a great family unit. And it's just a matter of your perspective. I learned through the abuse as an adult, I learned the power of forgiveness. And one of the things I always remembered was that you can't just simply forgive. You have to forget.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
let
not
it
to say
go.
that you are to be abused or made as a doormat, but
That's
you
right.
know, that's their path.
Right.
And they helped teach me on my path. Listen, as miserable as it was, there was a lot of good times. Anyway,
It's what I heard when I was working with those kids, Wayne, because it was hard for me because I was like, how in the world could this be okay? I was struggling with it. I literally reading the files and, seeing the scars to match the abuse. And it was whipping me up. I'm like, how could this be okay? And literally, I had communication with the Lord one day. I sat down, had a ball fest, and mad at the whole world and pissed off at him for letting it exist. And he was like, these are the warriors. These are the strongest souls. And they've come in with these extreme challenges because you came here to be forged like through fire. It's kind of like the crafting of a sword. And
I can see that.
literally, you are a warrior, and your spirit, even when you were getting so brutally attacked, there was something inside of you that knew you would get through it. That's a warrior spirit. You had to earn that belief in yourself before you could incarnate into a family that would do that, because you need that now, because it's going to forge you through fire. You're a warrior, Wayne. Warrior,
A
straight
lot
up
of
warrior.
warriors here. A lot of
Yeah,
warriors here.
when I started to see the higher perspective of why some people come in with parents that abuse, because I had some of that going on too. um it makes you strong. And like I said, when I got attacked by that person taken over by a demonic entity when I was a teenager, if I wouldn't have known how to fight, I probably would have been dead. So, like, these teach you a lot of things to get through the matrix, and they teach you how to be very, very strong. So when I started to see on that aspect, it's like, because a lot of people, Wayne, if they come under an attack like that, they're going to freeze. They freeze,
Yeah.
and you
Crystal,
don't freeze.
you don't listen, Crystal. I'm reading your comments and in the chat. Girl, you're a warrior. That's all I can say. Anyone that
Yeah,
rape and sexual abuse, that's
yeah.
yep, that's how it
But I'm
goes.
telling you, it's a warrior soul that does this, because I literally, wait, I had to work with these kids, and I was like, how can I help this? And how can I make sense of this? Because when they tell me, don't tell me about God, where was God when this, and this was happening to me? I'm like, oh, dang, you got a good point. You know, ooh, ooh. So I was like, they're going to hit me with these questions. I need to be prepared. You know what I mean? And this was how I came into my understanding of the powerful souls that are involved with this. They are literally, you guys are the leaders of hope and restoration, because if you can balance out after being formed under that kind of an extreme and still walk a path of good and love and light, that's basically you are carrying the actual essence of Christ.
Yep. Yep.
You're a master.
I have to say that. Yeah.
You are a
A lot going
master.
on. Well, I tell you, folks, that
Master.
it's one of those things. And, I was sexually molested and as a young child, and you learn these things. And the
Dude.
thing about it is,
Yeah.
to me, I can even remember back. I mean,
Mhm.
somewhere inside of me, there was the serenity, because it
Mhm.
wasn't like it was almost like it was surreal. It wasn't happening, but when you have broken bones, but the fact is, I think you have a decision. And for me, I subconsciously chose the path of forgiveness. Now I had a lot of healing to do,
So I mean, Wayne, that's such big work. It's huge
but
work.
you know,
Huge. It's
children, but
powerful people. Only really powerful people can get through that. I
yeah,
mean, and I really do, when it was explained to me that um we agree. And I could, that's where I understood a lot about the contracts, was when I was dealing with those kids, because I couldn't understand. And this is when he was like, no, You do this because you want to learn. You do this because it serves the whole. Some people come in and sign up to take the hardest lessons so they can learn it for the whole. So, like I said, that's why you guys are warrior status, because you took on some of the hardest lessons to overcome. And there's a huge gamble because many wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
It would consume them. So, like I said, to get through it and to survive it and to heal from it, mastery level there. That's a master. It's a master. It's profound what they showed me, how pleased. That was like when what was it, Carol just passed, and she was yeah, and she was going through, you know, she went through a lot of hard experiences, and I was like, she is going to be greeted by the highest among high when she returns home, because she took on a lot
Yeah.
for the construct.
Well, folks, we really went over. Sorry for that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I got to really get going. I'm really running late here, but yeah, folks, we're all here for a purpose, and many of
That's
us have gone
bad.
through a lot of challenges, but in the end, it all is going to be okay. It is. All right, Miss Trina, we really went over. Sorry, everyone.
Oh, God, Wayne, it like, whoa, time zoomed by today.
It really did. This is
Really.
deep stuff, but this is, it's needed to be talked about, and there's healing in it. And, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, and we're driving our reality now. We're consciously driving, guys. So we got to learn to be responsible and be the masters that you are. You are masters in training.
Y'all groovy people too. Thank you, Susie Q. Much love, honey. There's a song about you. All right, folks. We will see you tomorrow, Miss Trina. Thank you, dear. And and have a great one. Love yourself.
Bosto, everyone.
Bosto.
Bosto.
All right. Thanks, folks. Bye-bye.